Hi everyone. Today we're starting a new series on an author whom I admire very much. She's often referred to as the Korean Stephen King, and she herself is a big fan of King. So if you like his works and you like the kind of dark or quirky ideas that he comes up with, you're almost certain to like her. So she's a very good place to start if you're looking for that kind of literature in Korean. The work that we're going to be looking at is her most recent one. It's called 종의 기원, or The Origin of Species. The official English title is The Good Son, and it was actually just released a couple of months ago in English. So if you're looking for a place to start, but maybe are not ready to dive into the original Korean version yet, the English version would also be a very good place to start. 피 냄새가 잠을 깨웠다. 코가 아니라 온몸이 빨아들이는 듯한 냄새였다. You'll notice that Korean really likes to use these compound verbs a lot, like 빨아들이다, just a combination of 빨아들이다, where in English we might use a verb plus a preposition or an adverb. 공명관을 통과하는 소리처럼 내 안에서 되울리고 증폭되는 냄새였다. Here you see this verb 되울리다. If you remember back in our videos on 살인자의 기억법, there was a verb 되뇌다, which meant to repeat, to say something repeatedly. And this is the same idea, the same sort of way of forming a word. So we have 돼 plus 울리다. So 돼 is kind of like 다시, or again repeatedly, plus 울리다. You put them together, and it just means to ring out or to resound repeatedly, or as I translated it here, reverberate. 시야에선 기이한 사파들이 표류하고 있었다. So this might be a bit of a difficult sentence in terms of vocabulary, but if you look at some of these words that may not be super common on their own, the hanja that make up the words are used in some very common words. So we have here, for instance, 기이하다, where the 기 hanja means strange, and it's used in words like 기적, a miracle, or 신기하다, something that's amazing or it's mysterious. And likewise with 표류, that's a fairly advanced word on its own, but if you look at, for instance, the 유 or ryu character, it's used in words like 한류, the Korean wave, or 교류, 유통. I like to say that there really aren't any useless words. Any of these words that you learn, you're going to be able to connect them to other things, and it's going to reinforce the words you already know, as well as broaden your vocabulary. So all these words, really, you will see them eventually at some point. So it's always good to kind of make a mental note of as much vocabulary as you can. 안개 속에 늘어선 가로등의 부옇고 노란빛. 발 아래로 소용돌이 치며 흐르는 강물. Again, we have one of these compound verbs, 늘어서다. So 늘다 is to stretch or increase, and 서다 is to stand. So when you put them together, 늘어서다, it's sort of like stretching out, standing in a row. And it's very often used when you're describing things like a row of something. So here it's a row of street lights. At the bottom here, this grammar 며 is just short for 면서, as in 뭐뭐 하면서, which is a very, very common sort of shortened form of it. It's good to recognize. 비에 젖은 차도 위를 구르는 진홍빛 우산, 바람에 펄럭거리는 공사장 가림막 비닐. I know this looks a little bit overwhelming, but just again, you can pause the video and just take your time breaking down some of these words, analyzing them. But a few things I would like to point out here is that, for instance, again, you have one of these words, 차도, which in this case, it is a very common word. But when you take the characters from it, especially the character 도, which means like a path or the road, is extremely common. And as you can see here, I've tried to include just a selection of common words that include this character with that meaning of path or road. Indo, for instance, with different hanta, it means India, but in this case, obviously, it doesn't mean India, it means a sidewalk. It's literally a road or a path for people. Likewise, in taekwondo, or taekwondo as we pronounce it in English, the do there as well, it means way or path. So I know today's video might have had a lot of new words. It might have been a little bit difficult in terms of vocabulary especially, But keep in mind that often the first few pages of a new author are the most difficult because you're getting into their writing style. And in this case, the author is setting the scene, so there's a lot of descriptive terms. But just bear with me and just trust me that it will get easier if you stick with it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave any questions or comments that you might have in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video.